Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Cohen. I'm going to be your professor for this online health communication course, Comm309. This is the first of several video lectures I'll be doing, although really it's not a lecture today, it's more of a course introduction. Basically, I'm going to read the syllabus. Well, not all of the syllabus, but whatever. Anyway, I hope that if you haven't already, I hope you're reading this because you've already gotten on eCampus to get a more extensive introduction of myself. I do have a little bit of a background in health communication. I got my PhD in Atlanta, where I got to do actually a couple different types of health communication research. Some of it was on persuasive messages, trying to figure out what makes people want to become organ donors. And the other research I did had to do with interactions in the emergency room and trying to figure out ways to develop a campaign that would help prevent people from calling 911 when really they had a minor emergency. Anyway, I'll talk about that later in the semester. My main area of interest overall isn't just health comm, it's media in general. So you'll be getting a little more media than the rest of the stuff this semester, but really we're going to cover it all, and I hope what you'll see is it all really intersects. So today, by the way, I'm broadcasting from my living room, and well, there's Ada, isn't she cute? I know. There's another dog, but we had to lock him up because I'm afraid he'll disturb things. His name's Watson. He's very cute too. Not as cute though. I really like the smush faces. But you'll see a picture of him on eCampus. Anyway, if there's any noises or something, I'll pause and restart this. But one weird thing, I forgot to print out the syllabus. So what's going to happen now is I'm just going to kind of look at it on my screen. So my eyes are going to be going in all different ways, but it doesn't mean that I'm not paying attention to you. Well, take it for what it is. Okay, so really, again, you can read the course description yourself, but we are going to be covering all different types of health topics. I mean, this is supposed to be a survey course designed to introduce you to all of the different issues that people who are interested in health comm might look at. And again, as I mentioned before, I really do think all of this stuff intersects, and hopefully by the end of the semester, you'll start to see a lot of common themes within the study of health comm and the types of communication issues that we're concerned with in different health contexts. There is a required book for this course. It's really awesome, and actually it's relatively short, you should know, but it also is kind of jam-packed with information. It's the Wright Sparks O'Hare Health Communication in the 21st Century. Now here's the other thing. If you don't actually want to go out and buy the book, apparently it is available for you to rent, and I don't know the details of that, but again, make sure you explore all your options depending on what you want to do. But it's really not. It's a paperback book. It's not too bad, and there's some good online resources too that you can look at. This is, of course, a computer-mediated communication course, so we're never going to be really meeting in person, aside from the times when maybe you want to contact me by doing a Skype. It's still not in person, but a more synchronous as opposed to asynchronous communication. If you wanted to Skype, we could talk together, but we're not going to be having these formal lectures where we all get together, even in a chat room, right, to discuss this stuff. It's kind of at your own pace. That is going to be great for some of you. Some of you are going to struggle with it a little bit more, but to make it a little bit more easy, I've really tried to design the course so that if you can get in a flow of a routine, you'll be fine. So every week, essentially, we're doing just about the same type of thing. So the same type of assignments, the same type of discussions, and you can kind of get into the flow. The exceptions are, of course, on exam weeks when there'll be an extra assignment, and we also have little mini papers, which I'll talk to in a second. But really, I think that the best thing for you to do is as soon as you go through the syllabus, hopefully you already have, go ahead and make yourself reminders on whatever calendar apparatus you use that'll come up maybe on a weekly basis to remind you to do certain things, like, oh, make sure you check the discussion board once a day, or make sure you do your reading quiz, which will be another thing that's like there weekly. So there is many ways of getting in touch with me, even though we're not actually going to be meeting in person. Technically, I have office hours for my other courses. I'm teaching a couple other courses, and I do have in-person office hours, but I'm not even, you know what, I'm not even going to mention them to you because it's irrelevant. We can make appointments and it might fall on that time, but I'm willing to make an appointment to get with you whenever it's convenient for you. And that doesn't have to be coming into campus and talking with me in person. It could be chatting or Skyping or whatever you're comfortable with. We just, again, we'll have to arrange it. But the best thing to do is email me. So you have my email at the top of the syllabus there. I check my email quite regularly, less so on the weekends. I always say give me 24 hours to get back to you at any point of time. But I do check it regularly. Email is actually much better than eCampus. eCampus I check at least once a day, sometimes more, but email I'm checking a lot more frequently. So keep that in mind. What else? Okay, so let's go ahead and let me just talk to you a little bit about... Oh, actually, hold on one second. I will say, if I need to contact you about anything, however, chances are the first thing I'm going to do is put an announcement on eCampus. That is what I will normally do. If it's like a super big emergency, I'll send an email blast out to everyone in addition, but I really hate to clog people's email. But for this reason, in addition to all other types of reasons, please try to make sure that you can connect to eCampus at least once a day just to make sure you're up to date on what's going on. And again, it's important for just class participation and making sure you're part of the discussion, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so you'll see like a grade breakdown on the third page of the syllabus. So you've got a syllabus quiz each week, which I just realized I may have messed up on the points for that. Okay, well, I'll fix that later, and I'll explain that on eCampus. See, here's a good reason why you should check eCampus, because I had originally thought that you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll just change that. I was thinking the syllabus quiz was going to be 10 points, but it's only 5 points. All I have to do is adjust it. So forget I said anything, okay? Syllabus quiz is worth 5 points. You need to do that by the end of the week. That's already up there for you, okay? And actually, I think I gave you until 2 weeks, but do it soon, because really it's not just a quiz on the syllabus. It's also a quiz on navigating eCampus and finding stuff, or, you know, about finding out about where to find things when you need them. So then each week you're going to have weekly reading quizzes, not this week, okay? So not the first week of courses, but every other week. And they'll just be 3 questions essentially, and it's worth 3 points. It doesn't cover everything. But it's something to sort of motivate you to crack open your book and look for some answers. And really, if you want to know the best way to sort of know if you're getting all the material, I would recommend not going by the weekly reading quizzes, although make sure you know all the information on the weekly reading quizzes too, because I'll use some of those questions and put them directly on your exams, so you might see them again. But the best way to check and really make sure you're getting everything is to look at course objectives, which there's no assignment attached to that, but each week in the course content on eCampus, I'll actually put learning objectives of things that I want to make sure you know before, like by the time you finish the chapter, okay? And I would also, I'm going to tell you when it gets closer to the exam, that's what you should use for your study guide too, because those are the things I'm going to test you on. Each week, there's also discussion board posts, which if you really look at it, I'm weighting that very heavily because we really have to work harder to elicit participation in this class, since it is asynchronous, since it is something that's not in real time, and since people are sort of doing it on their own, right? We have to work a little bit harder. Ada wants to participate. Shh. So anyway, the discussion board post, I'll post probably every Sunday at the latest on Monday, a conversation starter, and that is exactly what it is, a starter. Not everybody has to answer directly to my conversation starter. What I'm really hoping to do, and sometimes this takes a little while for me to like push it out of everyone. I want a conversation. I want you to be responding back to each other and focusing in on different questions and topics that interest you that's related to the content. But I'll usually start off with some sort of question to get you guys going, and you can answer that question. But again, if I see that everybody's just answering that question and not really dialoguing with each other, you're not going to get maximum points. My rule of thumb, by the way, is kind of if you actually participate in the discussion with even one post, you'll get at least 3 points. If you do really exceptionally well in the discussion, you'll get the full 5 points each week. And then, 4 is for somewhere in between. So, and then, of course, I guess the question is who gets a 2? And that's a really good question. I haven't had a 2 yet in my other classes, but whatever. And a 0, of course, if you don't do anything at all. So it's an easy way to get points. And again, I'm not going to be looking for much more than really an in-depth conversation. You can read down here sort of like the things I want in a discussion board post. I use the word substantive a lot, meaning it's got to be something that you're actually contributing and not just being like, cool. I mean, you can do cool too, but that's not what I would actually grade you on. So I'm hoping to try this semester actually grading your discussion board post on the actual post. eCampus has a way that I can do that, but come the second week, we'll see that if I can actually do that or not. So stay tuned. But at the end of each week, you will get a grade for both your reading quiz that's on eCampus and your discussion board post. So that's every week. Less frequent occurrences are your exams. There's 3 of them in this class that correspond with the 3 major units in this course, and they're worth 50 points each. A week after each exam, you also have a mini paper due, okay? So essentially, the exams, they will have some essay questions, but there'll be a lot of closed choice questions as well, and they'll be take-home, so you can use your notes, you can go back to your reading quizzes, all that stuff. The mini papers are really supposed to motivate you to apply some of the concepts we're learning. We're not looking for something real long. Again, it's a mini paper. And in fact, I'd say no more than 2,000 words is what I say in the syllabus here. And again, they kind of give you an opportunity to merge everything we've talked about in a particular unit and apply it to some sort of maybe life experience or something that you've seen in the media or whatever. So those specific guidelines you can find on at the end of the syllabus actually for the different types of papers. And I'll remind you. But again, the way it's going to work is we'll close out a unit, you'll have an exam on that unit, and then a week later your mini paper will be due. And for the record, your final exam will not be cumulative, so we just have 3 separate exams and 3 separate mini papers. Okay, important to note, I have, under course policies, these support, this information about how to contact support if you need eCampus help. I am not the one you want to contact. I have as many problems with eCampus as you, and it's not even because I'm like weird with technology. I mean, I am in some ways, but sometimes eCampus just has weird quirks and they're changing things, and you really need to be in touch with the IT people to help you deal with any problems that come up. Having said that, though, I have, because I want to try to avoid as many problems as we can, I've put most of your deadlines, like for those quizzes each week and discussion board posts, at 4:30 on Friday, because I don't want to get in a situation where everybody's trying to rush for a deadline when the IT people aren't available. So hopefully, with that in mind, again, if you turn everything in on time, you shouldn't end up in a situation where you can't turn something in because you have IT problems or whatever. But again, anytime you have any issues, you should let me know about it, even if I'm not the one that's able to help you. And again, the only reason I would not be able to help you is, of course, because I'm not an eCampus designer, but whatever. Okay. So yeah, submitting assignments, you're usually going to submit them to me via email. There's not a really good assignment submission system on eCampus. However, the quizzes they're on eCampus, so that'll be how you submit them, and they'll go straight into your gradebook, so that's cool. Late assignments, I mean, if there is, like if I do accept a late assignment, you'll get a reduction by a letter grade each time it's reduced. If you have disabilities and we need to talk about it, let me know. Academic honesty is very important. I'm summarizing here. So with social justice, please read your syllabus for all of that stuff. I actually think that covers it for now. Again, this is like a really, really quick orientation, and I don't mean to fly through all these important details which make up the structure of our class, but I really do anticipate that as things come up, I'll be posting on eCampus a lot. So again, just to reiterate, please, 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 while you're in this class, check eCampus at least once a day, and please make yourself known. Like email me, however you want to contact me, please do that. And most importantly, make yourself known to your classmates too, because they might be a valuable resource. Get involved with those discussions, and feel free. I should actually do this. Maybe I'll post a fat question and answer thing on the discussion board so that you guys can ask questions and anybody can respond. If you guys think of anything else I can do to accommodate you, let me know. Online classes are really cool because you can Online classes are really cool because you can work at your own pace and you can do, you can run the course like you want them, but they can be very lonely if you don't take advantage of the resources that are offered. So I really hope you will. I'm very much looking forward to the semester and I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Okay, bye. Like one more little Ada shot. Right here. Bye. She won't be here in the future, I promise. Well, maybe sometimes. Okay. Shh.